Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how imagination is your only reality. Next level, Neville Goddard. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. One of you asked me about imagining, as taught by Neville Goddard, that imagining is the only reality. And you said that you have a hard time imagining. And really, what does it mean that imagining is your own reality? And this actually followed a great phone call that I had with Mitch, who is another unbelievable conscious creator on the channel. And so Mitch inspired me for today's video, along with this subscriber's question, and it was just the perfect unfolding. So today, guys, we're going to unpack imagining like we've never unpacked it before. Buckle up. And so here's what I want to say. So this subscriber that said, it's hard for me, what does it mean that imagining is the only reality, also asked me about dream interpretation. And here's really what I want to say, asking what does this mean, and I had this dream and so forth, that think about this, that you're asking about what happened in a dream, and that I that's dreaming, the I in the dream, in the sleeping dream, is asking what your 3D, you in the 3D reality means. Do you hear this? You're dreaming, what you're dreaming in your dreams, that dreamer is also dreaming you. Right? You're in the waking dream. But we spend so much time, we don't look around. What you should really be asking is, why am I seeing this in my reality? Do you hear this? And it's okay to ask what dreams mean, but you somehow put more magic or importance on what you're dreaming in your sleeping dreams. Hear this, this is big, than what you're dreaming in your waking dream in 3D reality, because they're both the same. That dreaming you is asking the same questions. Right? What does this mean? What is this person doing? Do you see it, guys? We're gonna unpack this today like we never unpacked it. So why do we have this? Why does imagination feel so unreal to us? Well, it's because you believe or you learn that imagination is somehow not real. That it's just your imagination, or your dreams are just dreams. And maybe they'll have some messages. Right? That you need to have your 2 feet firmly planted on the ground, that you got to get real. Right? That imagination is wishful thinking. That's why it feels so hard. Right? And when it feels hard, when you can't imagine your wish fulfilled, it means that you're further away from your current, you're further away from what you're imagining, and it just means that your current vibrational set point or state of being is further away from what you want. You're not corresponding with that reality. But it's not further away in terms of it's not insurmountable. You can change that right now. That's all it means. That's all it means when you say it's hard to imagine. It just means your current state of being, your current state of frequency, vibration, who you're being, is further away than what you're imagining. And you can collapse that immediately in the now moment. That's why some things feel more impossible than others. There's nothing impossible. Scripture says it. Jesus said it 2,000 years ago. All things are possible to he who believes. But what did he mean? He meant that if you're in that vibrational state, if you're closer in imagining something that's within your correspondence, your identity of reality, then it's possible. It's not only possible, it's a done deal. That's what we're talking about. Let's unpack this some more. So, imagination creates reality. Not only that, it's the only reality. Why? There's no difference between the physical world around you and your imagination. Yet we're always asking, wow, is this a sign, or is that a sign, or what does this dream mean? We're always asking about these things without looking around what we're imagining in our waking dream. The people, events, and circumstances is what you should be asking the questions. Why is that happening? Because that's what you're imagining. Do you hear this? There's no difference between an imagined flower and a real flower. It's all in your imagination. And here's the only difference. Here it is. So there's no difference except in your assumption and definition and belief that it is a flower. It's that's physical reality, and somehow you imagine a flower is somehow less real. Do you hear that? It's only in your fixed assumptions and beliefs that physical flower is more real than your imagined flower. It's a perception issue. And that determines your perception. That's why believing is seeing. That's why all the spiritual greats say that, right? There's no difference. The only difference is what you're assuming and believing. You believe that physical flower is more real. You believe it to the point that that's how you perceive it as more real, right? Remember, it's only we keep saying it's only your imagination. Well, imagination is the only reality. So stop saying that. We grow up like that, right? Even my mother would say, it's only your imagination. Oh, okay. You get it, guys. This is big. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Imagination is the only reality, and it's only because you give more importance, hear this, more validity and more attention to the 3D physical world that your physical senses are perceiving is why you don't believe it. Hear this. That's why you don't believe imagination, because you're just giving more attention to and more solidity and more validity and more importance and more awareness to the 3D physical world that with your physical senses that you're perceiving and is why you don't believe that imagination is more real, right? You give the 3D world more reality or more truth, right, than your inner imaginative world, right? You get to determine what's true. But you give that 3D world more truth, right? You give your inner authority away. Hear this. You give your inner authority away to the people, events, and circumstances that surround you in the 3D world. You give all that away when you can just turn from that and create whatever you want within, because that's where it comes from in the first place. Nothing you're seeing outside is coming from out of the blue. It's coming out of you. Hear that? I've said that before. Nothing comes out of the blue. It all comes out of you, right? It's all energy, right? And this is big. It's all energy, and that physical energy feels or seems more real to you than your imaginative energy. It's all energy. The physical energy, that physical stuff you see is energy, and that imagination is energy. It's all energy, but it feels more real to you because it's perceived. Remember, it's perceived as subtle and imperceptible, this imaginative energy, but it's still energy. And it's only subtle and imperceivable to your 3D senses, right? And that's not even who you really are. That's big. Let's unpack this a little bit more. We limit what we see and perceive, that 0.0001%, in order to help us focus in the 3D experience. Mitch and I think, Mitch, we talked about this last night, right? Otherwise, we would instantly see everything. Right now, we are thinking, feeling, assuming, and believing instantly through our state of being. That becomes our reality, what we're imagining. Right? That inner state is your imagination. That state of being is your imagination, and you get to imagine whatever you want, right? That's why we limit ourselves. Otherwise, it would be chaos. For our 3D senses they would be overloaded, right? Your smoke would be coming out of your ears. You wouldn't be able to handle it. Right? That's why we limit it. That's why we receive it. But you get to create. That's what gives you that creative ability. That's why you can create, be, do, or have whatever your heart desires. It's about loosening or loosening your grip of your fixed beliefs and hardened assumptions about who you are and what reality is. This is really what it's about, right? Loosening your solid fixed beliefs about imagination and about what reality really is. It's about allowing yourself, hear this, to experience more and more of that invisible but very real 99.9999% of energy potential that you are. You're pure positive potential. And you're fixed on a 0.0001%, mostly of what you don't want. Right? So to experience it, how do you go, well, Tom, how do you experience it? To experience it is to identify as it, right? To manifest, create, receive, and perceive, and align and correspond with. It's all the same. We call it manifesting, we call it creating, we call receiving, we call perceiving, we call aligning, we call corresponding. It's basically you identifying with it, becoming it, embodying it, right? This is big. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Imagination is source of reality. It's the only reality. It is all that is. It's infinite intelligence. It's God. It's the quantum field, right? That's that we talk about, that God in you, right? That Christ in you. It's all you. It's your human, or hear this, your human inner experience of infinite intelligence, or all that is. That's what imagination is. It's you experiencing that divinity or that infinite intelligence through your imagination. That's how you experience it. That it's those feelings, those intuitions, those images you get. That's all God speaking to you. Your higher self speaking to you, right? And instead we wake up and we focus on what we dreamed of that night. That's okay. There are signs in your dreams. Those are realities just as real as this one. And you're in the you in the dream is asking the same questions. Right? It's the source not only of your physical experience, but your intuitions, your insights, your nudges, your feelings, your ideas. It's infinite, it's inexhaustible, and it's everywhere. Wow, that's big. The more you feel an image real, the more attention you put on that image. And the more you embody and believe that mental image, the more intensity you give it, and the more reality, and the faster it becomes a physical 3D reality. You hear that? Time is intensity. Right? We get questions, well, when will it manifest? How long will it take? It's all intensity of your imagination, right? The more you feel it real, the more attention you put on it, the more you embody it, the more you believe it, the more intensity you give it, the more reality you give it, the faster it becomes a 3D reality. That's your answer. This is big. Let's unpack this a little bit more. The more and more you believe in your inner world, the less authority or reality you give to the outer world. That's really what I want to say to you. Nudge in that direction, right? Give more authority to your inner world. And as you do that, paradoxically, your inner world becomes your outer world. That's the paradox. Hear this. The more and more you believe in your inner world, the less authority or reality you give to the outer world. And here's the paradox of reality creation. And then your inner world becomes your outer world, right? It's getting comfortable living in that paradox. So fun, right? What does it, but instead you're asking what your dreams mean. Right? Instead of looking around you and asking what your waking dream means, because you're in a waking dream. What does that mean? What did that person said something to me? Someone pulled out in front of me in traffic. What do all those mean? That's what you should be asking those questions. That's what you're creating. Here's the key to all reality creation, to all the reality creation techniques, processes, and ideas is this. Here's the key. Here's the goals. Here's the nugget. The world out there is simply a reflection of the world within you. What's the world within you? Your imagination. What's your imagination? It's what you're thinking, feeling, believing, and assuming through that God power within you, through that higher power. Wow! Remember, you're living a waking dream. In a night dream, you believe that the people, events, and circumstances are separate from you while you're dreaming. Right? In a night dream, you believe those are real. You believe the landscapes are real. You believe the people are real. And even if it seems a little weird to you, you think it's real. And then you wake up and you realize that those things were not separate from you. They were within you. It was a dream. A dream's within you. So the same with a waking. You can do the same thing in a waking dream. You believe that everybody and everything is separate from you until you wake up and realize it's not. It's the same thing when you dream at night. That's powerful. Let's really unpack this. You're in a waking dream a little bit more. While you are asleep in your night dream, the I in the dream views the people, places, and events as separate. You view them as separate. You view them as real. You see them outside yourself. You don't believe them that they're a part of you. But then, only when you awaken, as the I in the 3D waking dream, to find that all of it was in your imagination or your own consciousness. That it was all within you. That it was never separate from you. And you accept that when you wake up from a night dream. You say, oh, that was just a dream. Right? But in the dream, it felt real and it felt separate from you. But then you wake up and realize it all came from within you. Well, that's the same thing in a waking dream. You walk around thinking everything's separate from you, that reality is throwing itself on you, that you're a victim of circumstance when all of it is within you. You're not separate from it. And as soon as you wake up in the waking dream, that's what enlightenment is. Right? Enlightenment's not some big long path for the selected few. It's to realize you're an awakened dream and that you can be, do, or have whatever you want within this dream. Isn't that marvelous? So the same thing happens in your waking dream or your 3D experience, right? And remember, if anyone has if you're a lucid dreamer, you wake up in the dream, right? When you're in a sleeping dream, when you wake up, you're now lucid dreaming. You now know it's just a dream. And when you wake up, when you're lucid dreaming, you have control. You can fly when you want to. You can make things happen when you're lucid dreaming, right? Lucid dream is when the I observes the dream itself, the dream self, right? You wake up in the dream, in your night. Hear this: when a lucid dream, when you wake up in your night dream, you see that you're dreaming and you're observing your dream self, saying, "Oh, that's me dreaming." And you can do anything. Well, the same thing happens in 3D experience. When you wake up from this waking dream and realize that you can be, do, or have whatever you want, that you can observe yourself and others as part of you, right? That if they're not separate from you, that you're dreaming it, now you've taken your power back. You're no longer giving it away, right? The 3D waking dream life, the night dream life, to the 3D waking dream you, right? The 3D you in the waking dream, the night dream, the night dream is a dream life, right? But to the night dreaming you, the 3D waking life is a dream because it's all within you. It's all one. There's no separation. You get it. To the 3D you, the night dream, the sleeping dream, is just a dream. It's dream life. But then, but to the dream you, the one that's dreaming, the 3D life is a dream life. That's powerful. So I want to unpack this a little bit more. Just like in a lucid dream, you can become aware and awake in the 3D waking dream to realize it's all happening within you. Wow. Guys, does it give you goosebumps? Because it gives me goosebumps. You who is immersed in the dream of 3D reality viewed as separate, right? There's you who is immersed in the dream of 3D reality viewed as separate, right? And then there's a you who is viewing it, not limited to the body, not identifying with 3D reality. Do you see that? There's a you in the 3D that you view as separate. Then there's the you who's viewing it. It's not limited to the body, not identified with 3D. Your 3D life, the waking dream, is infinite intelligence. Hear this. This is big. So your 3D life, this waking dream that we feel is so real sometimes, is infinite intelligence, God or all that is, way of communicating with you through perceived outer events, conditions, and inner feelings, emotions, intuitions. Two ways. Through the outer events that are happening around you, the people that are around you, the events and circumstances, and the inner feelings, emotions, and intuitions that you're feeling. It's always God communicating with you. Do you hear this, right? Yet we're focused on what the night dreams mean. Do you hear the insanity here? Instead of what does the 3D dream mean? Because God's talking to you all the time, right? Your higher self, that divinity within you. You are co-creating with God, your higher self at every moment. Whoa, it's so big. So let's take it home here. Just because you don't perceive something with your 3D senses doesn't mean it's not real. That's really the message today, guys. It's so big because the real equals the unreal. There's no difference. Here's the difference, and this is big. The only distinction between what is real is what is manifested in physical 3D reality. That's the only distinction between what is real and what is manifested. There's no difference between, there's no such thing as unreal. Do you hear this? Real equals unreal. The only difference, the only distinction that you can make, or you need to make, or you can make, is what's real and what's manifested. What's real and what's manifest in 3D reality. Do you hear that? right? And they're both the same anyway. But if you're going to make distinctions, that's the only distinction. And what's real and what's manifested are the same. It's the same reality. That's big, but even bigger, for anything to manifest in 3D reality, it has to be real in a dimensionally larger reality. Do you hear this? So for anything you're seeing around you, it has to be already real in a dimensionally larger reality for it to manifest in 3D reality. That's so big. Or you wouldn't be able to see it, perceive it as a manifested thing. You can't manifest what's not already real. Holy crap, that's big. Guys, you get this. You can't manifest what's not already real. That's the answer to the questions of it feels fake or imagining is hard or all that. Right? For anything to manifest in 3D reality, it has to be real in that dimensionally larger reality, or you couldn't manifest it, you couldn't see it, you couldn't perceive it. That's how imagination is your own reality. That's next level, Neville Goddard. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos, and share the channel. Word's getting out. It's starting to grow. That's how we get the word out. That's how we get this message out, right? You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Karen. You can always visit my website at tomkaren.com or besomethingwonderful.com, or write me at info@besomethingwonderful.com. I will get to your emails, guys. I'm going through them in the order that I get them. I've been slammed with it, delightfully slammed with emails. I love it. Guys, until next time, with great love, great light, and really infinite gratitude, I'll see you soon.